someone might major in management, and students always say, or their parents always say, well, why should a student major in management? I like to think of management as the most liberal artsy of business majors, and people might say, well, that's a negative of it, but the positive is we really do draw upon the social sciences, economics, psychology, sociology. I was even talking about anthropology this morning. Of course, I've got some colleagues who teach more of the quantitative aspects of management systems, operations, research, supply chain. Students get a broader exposure. I always like to tell them, if you're really lucky, you'll find an extremely progressive hiring person in an organization who will look at you and say, wow, this person knows how to think, and they know how to deal with people, and they know how to deal with the quantitative aspects of management. An entrepreneurship major really prepares students to write a business plan and get sources of funding, and know that it's not going to be necessarily an automatic multi-million-dollar enterprise, and you might have to eat Jell-O for a while. But a management major, management majors don't exactly always know what they want to do. And so we're seeing a lot of management minors this is exciting, students who are dance majors, who think, okay, I'm not always going to be able to dance, my toes are going to wear out, I might want to run a dance company. Or psychology students who say, oh, let me get some little bit of business background. But there are some students who say, I've been working in my family business, and I'm dealing with employees, and I see that sometimes it's hard to motivate some employees, and it's easier to motivate others, so I want to sit and learn about some of the ways to motivate people. It teaches you to think about the people that you're dealing with in an organization, and it doesn't so narrowly pigeonhole you as some of the other so-called more practical majors. It really allows you to work in any kind of organization, and lucky students do get management training positions, and basically a lot of our students are seeking internships, and that really is a nice foot in the door for their careers. Woody Allen said, X% of life is just showing up, go to class, stay alert in class, pay attention. I'm proud to say I'm at Hofstra, where teaching is important. No one's going to get tenure if they're a terrible teacher, so you really can learn if you go to class. And while you're in class, do not use your cell phone. I mean, I've got a lot of colleagues I know who have sort of, if you can't beat it, join it, and they've incorporated cell phones into their classroom. And I always say laptops down, cell phones off, don't text, pay attention. Another piece of advice would be to be on time. In educational institutions, there's this sense that you can always be late, and a lot of professors say, oh, I have trouble with time, so it's okay to roll in a little bit late. It really is important to create a good impression, to show up on time. It's an easy way to look professional and be professional. Internships are really great opportunities. There's always that vicious cycle. You can't get a job until you've already had a job, or you can't get experience. No one's going to hire you until you've got some experience. So how do you get that experience in the first place? A lot of companies, particularly in this economy, want to have students working for them and not pay them. And that's sad for the student, but the good thing is a student can get credit for that work experience, and legally it's good for the organization that can hire these students. In an internship, you can prove yourself. You can prove that you can, yes, show up at work the time you're supposed to show up. And yes, you get a sense of what it's like to work in an organization. I always tell my students that, I remember having trouble getting a job because I didn't have so much experience. And once you've gotten that internship, it's a low-risk situation for an employer to bring you on board. And once you're there, it's not that you have to have immense amounts of experience to get that, quote-unquote experience, but just a few months of keeping your eyes open and your ears open and watching how things are done. A lot of our students do get invited to work at the places of their internships on a full-time basis, and a lot of them, it's just a really lovely thing to put on their resume so that a prospective employer in the future will say, oh, you do have experience.